Hello, this is Trevor Cutmore. This video, you mustn't miss it, is about stamp duty, and it is there for you to understand and to maximize what this is going to do for your property journey. I hope you enjoy it. It's Trevor Cutmore, and today we're talking about stamp duty. Now, it's been in the budget. We have to talk about it. There are a lot of people talking about it, but are not really understanding what's going on. Let's go back to what was actually said by the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, okay? As he was going through, the language that he used was really important. So he started off and he said that in May, there was a 50% drop-off of transactions through May. Very important in property. Well, why was that? Well, a lot of things closed down, solicitors closed down, the surveyors especially stopped going into houses. They were the one key elements that stopped everything. So of course, there was this slowdown and lack of transactions. He also said that house prices had fallen in value. I haven't seen it. I'm looking at the market. I'm wondering where he's looking, because across the country there are pockets and certain types of houses which have been going up in value. But hey, he said it. He knows a lot more than I do. But it's interesting. I like to take those commentaries and find out what are they saying and where do they get that information from. But the most important thing he said for me was, this is a short-term measure to help people, this is by changing stamp duty, to help people to buy, to sell. Keyword next one, renovate. When he said renovate, wow, that means yes, he really wants to get things going. And remember what I said a little while back in my videos. I said, look, this is where the government will have to spend, a bit like the New Deal in America in the great crash of 29, I think it was. And this is what the government's doing. They're spending to kickstart the economy. So when he said renovate, that's an important thing. And finally, the final word he used was to move. And that's crucial, because what does moving do? That brings so many more elements into it. When you move, you start to buy other things such as appliances, furniture. That starts to put money back into the economy. Moving companies, they've been, on standout. Now they can get going. So more employment's going to come back. And this is a really key thing. So the stamp duty relief is something of an incredible step taken by this government to kickstart. I mean, I don't know if you realize how massive this is and what an opportunity it is for you and for me in this market of investing in property. So it is for England and Northern Ireland. Wales and Scotland haven't come on board yet. They're going to look at it. They have slightly different ways. I think they're going to follow suit, because it'd be quite crucial for them to do the same. They've got to kickstart the economy and get things going. However, when we're looking at the stamp duty, I've got a couple of tables for you. So as you can see, with the residential mortgages, because initially when this came out, no one actually knew, was it for residential mortgages and buy-to-let or just resi? And when it was coming out, it sounded like it was only going to sit down for resi. So look, currently in residential mortgages, you'll pay stamp duty over £125,000. Now you won't pay stamp duty right up to £500,000. So if we look at my table here, if we take three values of properties, 500,000, 750,000 and £1 million. Okay, so the old way was, it was £15,000 stamp duty if you were buying £500,000 house. Now zero savings, £15,000. Okay, at £750,000 purchase, your stamp duty in old money was £27,500. Now it's £12,500, a saving, guess what, £15,000. Interesting. Million. What happens with a million? You would have paid £43,750,000. Now it's going to be £28,750, saving £15,000. There is this thing here. I mean, look, very clever in the way that they've done this, but they're giving a £15,000 to people who are buying their residential home. That's a really good thing. What an incentive to go and buy. Look, if you if you aren't thinking of moving home, and a lot of people are now, because some of those house prices I said which are going up, they're going up because people don't want to work in their office anymore. They're very much thinking, okay, I want to have a bigger house. They're fed up with working inside their dining room or kitchen table. Let's get a bigger house. Let's take advantage of this, and I'll have a proper office. And we're seeing that go across the board. Some of you even watching will be doing that right now. But what an opportunity. Let's go to the buy-to-let market. What does that mean? Okay, look, I've got another table, and here we go. We're going to go with the same values, 500, 750, 1 million. So, in the old money, your stamp duty would have been £30,000, because remember, when you have a second home and a second investment property, you own one property. When you have that second property, you pay an additional 3%. So that's why you go 15,000. 3% on 500,000 is another 15,000. So buy-to-let mortgages, buy-to-let purchases, when you go to buy them, £30,000. However, we also benefit from the zero tax up to 500,000. We still pay the 3% surcharge. So instead of it being 30,000, we now pay 15. Guess what the saving is? £15,000. If we buy £750,000 house, the old money was £50,000 stamp duty. Now we pay £35,000 saving, £15,000. And if we do $1 million, the old money was £78,750,000. Now we're going to pay £58,750, saving £15,000. What a great job the government's given out, done for us in the way that we've got this saving. But look, some of you are thinking, hey, I'm going to make all this saving and everything. Now, I understand that property investors, what they want to do, they want to buy in the north because they get much better return on investment in cash flow. Very, very important. So they're buying 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 120,000 pound properties, and they're getting good returns on that. Great, I understand. But I've already had someone come to me and say, oh, Trevor, I'm so excited. I'm buying a house, £100,000. I'm saving on stamp duty. No, you're not. So let's get something straight. On the 3% surcharge, when you already own a home, so you buy to let, you're buying a limited company, and even if you have two in your own name, you'll still be subject to the surcharge. It's a second property. So when you buy a property in a company, providing you've already got one already, let's just put that to bed. So you're investing into another property, £100,000 in your limited company. I'm sorry, it's not zero. You pay 3%. The 3% kicks in at £40,000. If you buy a property at £40,000, you're still going to pay £1,200 in stamp duty. If you're buying a £100,000 house, guess what? 3%? Yes, you are right. It is £3,000 you're going to pay. Let's not confuse that, but it's still much better than it was. So remember, the 3% would be from 40 all the way up to 125, and then that would kick in the other stamp duty that we would pay. They've done away with that additional stamp duty from 125 to 500,000, and now we got clear. So it's 3% for you and me investing in buy-to-let properties right up to 500,000, hence only 15,000, not £30,000. Now there are the things. So if you're buying property, I can tell you they have these thresholds from 500,000 to 925,000. It's 5% is going to be the stamp duty. From £925,000 to 1.5 million, it's 10%. And if you go from 1.5 million above, is 12%. Okay, now they do that in stages, but don't worry, your accountant or your solicitor where you're purchasing, they will know how to do that instantly for you. So when you're looking at a property, call the solicitor, how much will I pay on this, and you will have the answer. But understand, this is something really special, unprecedented in my lifetime, and a real opportunity to get ahead. So as I said, look, if you're not owning your property where you live, it's an opportunity, but you still will be subject to a 3% surcharge if you've already got investment property. So I've had some people who have been calling me say, Trevor, you know I've got portfolio, but I rent my house. What happens if I go and buy a home now? You will pay the 3% surcharge, and if you go above the $500,000, you pay the extra bits as well. So just be wary of that, but it's great because it's so much less than what you would have been paying. So what we're also going to look at is, if you think I would like to buy a bigger house, but I haven't quite got enough money to, you know, do it all, there's something else that you can do, a really key little bit of thing. And this is it. This has been there for a long time, and you can rent a room and you can have income in your house. So imagine you could rent a room in your house, you could separate it off a little bit, rent it up to £7,500 income tax free. So think, if you could have £7,500 going towards paying off your mortgage, what more could you do? That's a really, really key thing to put together with the stamp duty for helping you and me move on. So look, there's great products out there, the mortgage rates are down, and this is something that you and I can really, really expand on. Finally, there are a few things about leaseholds and sale transfers. You need to look in a bit more. This is more specialist for you, but what an opportunity for people who are stuck with their properties in their personal name and they would love to put it into the company. Clause 24, that's where the mortgage interest is counted as income when you own it in your own name. This is a time that you could possibly jump and transfer them into your company. Yes, you'll have to pay stamp duty, but it's so much less than what you would have had to do before on the higher value properties. So this is an opportunity. You might think, do you know what, I'll jump in now because it's going to be better for me. And finally, there's no such thing as a free lunch. I love what they've done here. They've said, look, for the whole month of August, Monday to Wednesday, you can go to a participating restaurant and you'll get 50% up to £10 per head knocked off your bill. It won't be on alcohol, it is on food only. But look, do it, because as I've said before, we've got to get the GDP up, the gross domestic product, and that's you and me spending back into the economy. Let's do it. Let's get out there. Let's help the businesses and move forward. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe. Please push the notifications. Share this. Make comments. I'd love to have your comments, and have a wonderful week. Thank you.